everyone. Happy Memorial Day. This is the day we remember that people went to war and didn't come back, and hope you're enjoying it with your family. And we are in our Bible series. We just finished chapter 8. This is pre-Paul days, in which Saul, which would later become Paul, was terrorizing the church and persecuting the church. You have the apostles being scattered and preaching everywhere. We're just hearing about Philip the evangelist, who is doing great things and being used mightily by God in Samaria and with the Ethiopian eunuch. And now we're going to get into chapter 9, in which is only possible because God made it possible. And it's only could be possible because only God could make it possible. And that's the conversion of someone who has been killing Christians, to convert him instantaneously into a Christian. That's not something man can do. That's only something God can do through a supernatural method. He hasn't stopped doing things like that. He's been doing that for the last 2,000 years. Some things we hear about, sometimes we don't hear about. But it's a miraculous thing that's going to happen to Saul. It's going to transform him, open up his eyes, and he's going to find out that he's been persecuting the Church of God, and he's going to change his mind. So it's going to be a great, great series, chapter 9 of the book of Acts. It's going to be a mind-opening experience, a mind-blowing experience, and we're going to have a great time looking at it. Paul has had his conversion experience from God, but that's because saints were praying for him. Saints were praying for the church. See, God works through his creation. God works through men. And he does it through our prayers. And it's only because the saints of God in Jerusalem were, after they were scattered about, were praying for the church, praying for Christians, and most likely praying for the ones persecuting them, like Saul. God heard their prayers, and God wanted to work with their prayers. And that's how the kingdom works. The kingdom works through our prayers. That's why we should pray continuously. That's what Paul said. Pray continuously. Because God works through our prayers. When we stop praying, God stops working in our lives. So we should have a healthy prayer life. And so because the people of God were praying, Paul is going to be supernaturally converted. And Paul will be working for God instead of working against God. His eyes will be open to the truth. I hope you enjoy the next chapter. Thank you.